Alright, I'm driving, but I got a little message, so bear with me when my eyes are going to be more on the road than the camera. But processing as I drive, obviously, always. Anyways, there's something to be said for true, genuine self-love and allowing your authentic light to shine. And I'm actually going to probably make this quick, hopefully, because it's really all that needs to be said is in its most simplicity. When we stop taking everybody's shit, even our own, like stop kidding ourselves, when you're real and honest with yourself, when you love yourself and demand, like authentically loving yourself, and you demand that from others, and not in a demeaning way, but just in a simple way of, I know my worth, I know my value, and if you, whomever you come across, aren't willing to reciprocate that or honor that, you just don't put up with their shit. You don't put it up from yourself or others. And think about it. When people, individuals, start loving themselves as we should, as we are created to, when you love yourself, there's peace, there's harmony, there's joy. It doesn't mean you're perfect. It doesn't mean you don't mess up. It just means when the tough times come around, that you're able to have compassion, empathy, mercy, and gracefully move through it, moving forward with humility, within yourself, to be able to process, to forgive, to learn and grow, and step forward in joy and peace. So when we're doing this individually, when you're allowing your authentic light to shine, you subconsciously allow others to shine their own. It's like, I have a word on the tip of my tongue, man. Contagious. That's the word I want. Contagious. Energy is contagious. We all feel it, whether we know it or not. But when you, and it might not just be an instant thing, because I don't want you to misconstrue that. It could be after a repetitive seeing and feeling and noticing of one person or multiple people, which hopefully is multiple people, expressing their true authentic self. Vibing at a higher frequency, at a cleaner, I want to say cleaner, and more truth and love, energy, being your authentic self, coming from a state of love within thyself, then we subconsciously give others to the same, because then when you're around those type of people, it feels good, and that's where, we as spiritual beings, as humans, we want that. I don't really truly believe that humans enjoy suffering, that they want to be in a state of suffering and misery and darkness and lies and deceit and resentment or jealousy or anger or rage. I don't believe that's our truth. I don't believe humans that we really want that. I don't. I do believe that we are designed for peace and love, and truth, joy. So, just getting to the core of the message, when you don't take shit from yourself or other people, when you're not giving shit, then people will eventually have to realize, hey, nobody's taking my shit. Nobody's putting up with my ass. Nobody's dealing with my drama. They'll be forced to deal with it themselves. And hopefully, they'll change. There's a simple statement that when you change, those around you either change or they leave. But again, as I'm saying, this is a contagious thing, like a ripple effect. When we have more and more and more and more and more and more of humanity authentically loving themselves, authentically being their true highest being, that's just going to emanate. That's going to have a ripple effect where more people are going to choose that. And it's a journey. It takes work. It takes effort. It sure does, because by golly, we all know that there are some donkeys out there, jackasses out there and monsters who will do you wrong and have no remorse whatsoever. But even them they'll have to deal with their shit in time. And I just, it's almost a plea that people, I know I'm not perfect, but I definitely diligently put in the work daily, and I've been through some ringers. I know the concept of bitter or better, and we're not always better. Sometimes the bitterness comes in, and have some mercy and grace within yourself to allow those emotions to come in, sit with them in a safe place. Obviously, you don't need to share that with other people, but sit with your emotions, process it, feel it, write it out, do what you gotta do, because the only way you heal something is by walking through it. You can't avoid it. You don't sweep it under the rug. You can't push it aside. Avoidance, it just festers if you avoid things, and that's not good. So to heal it, you gotta go through it. You gotta feel it to heal it. You gotta go through it. No mud, no lotus. Let that lotus grow through the thick of the shit. It's all about the journey, not the destination. The destination is beautiful, it's wonderful once you hit those goals and you get to where you want to be. But the journey, I've had to think about that. Like, I have a few goals, and it's just like, would I want to wake up tomorrow and be there? And I think about it and I think, no, fuck no. Because all that shit in the middle, the journey stuff, oh my gosh, that's what's going to make me be able to be my highest and greatest self when I get to that destination, when I am that goal. Because I can't just jump from here where I'm at to there and be ready, because I'm obviously not ready. The journey is what prepares you. The journey is what makes you, it builds you, it grows you. I think that, I have learned to see, like, that's beautiful. I can say from looking into what my goal is, and you can think about it in your situation, whether it's a health goal, financial goal, relationship goals within yourself, with others. Think of your point A, and your point A is where you are now, to your point B, where you want to go. Can you honestly say that right here and right now you're ready for that point B? Because for me, I see it as all that stuff in between it. It's where I build the confidence, the endurance, the resiliency, more resiliency, humility, more gratitude, more knowledge of discipline. A lot of times, in order to hit goals and become better, we have to first and foremost put in effort and have discipline, because we're probably reconstructing, so we're tearing down and rebuilding. Maybe we're starting from scratch. Could be. We have the foundation. We are the foundation within ourselves. And you build off of that. And sometimes we have paradigms, old paradigms, limited belief systems that we need to tear down and rebuild. And that doesn't happen overnight. Rome was not built in a day. And why would we want it to be? Because it's all about the journey and the progress, and we learn and we grow within that. And that's beautiful. So I kind of gave you like two messages in there. But, I get some harshness sometimes from people because I supposedly come off believing in a some sort of heavenly utopia, heaven on earth. And honest to Pete, I don't really have a problem with that. I know to a point, or I can speculate, that's not going to be ever, I don't think that's ever really going to be the case, because that's not how Earth is designed, that's not how life is designed, because even in nature you have harshness. Nature is always devouring itself, but if you can look at it in a more humble way, like when the antelope dies and it sits there and rots in the ground, the microorganisms, the bugs and all that come up and eat it and devour it, and it nourishes the soil. I mean, death is a sorrowful thing, but there's also beauty and growth in it, because that death is giving life. So when it comes to like a utopia, I do believe our world can be, I don't even know what you would want to say, like percentile wise, and I don't even want to give it that way, but it could be a heck of a lot better. I don't think we have to have a 50-50 balance of good versus evil. I think you can have an 80-20, maybe even a 90-10. I believe a 90-10 would probably be a good ratio. I think we could do it. Because I know. I think in my core I know, but that would be for me to digest on my own terms and not here. Anyways, I just think of it, and I feel this in my heart and in my soul, that when we are being our authentic selves, allowing our light within, our truth and divinity to shine, and when we don't take shit from other people, when we love and honor ourselves, when we love and honor and respect others, that's what makes all the difference. Forgiveness is a huge thing for ourselves and for others. It's also a journey. It takes time, work, discipline. It's not always easy, and that's okay. And don't put a timestamp on your forgiveness. Don't put a timestamp on your journey or your destinations. Just allow, be. Yeah. I think I'm gonna leave it at that. That's really what I wanted to get off. I think that's the biggest thing, is don't take people's shit. You don't have to be a bitch about it or an asshole either. You can do it in a respectful manner. That's probably that's why I'm still lingering here. I needed to get that part out. When you love yourself and love thy neighbor, you're not going to put up with your neighbor's bullshit, and if they treat you horrible or treat other people horrible, you're going to hold people accountable for their actions. You give credit where credit is due. And that credit can be, hey, you're being a shithead, or hey, you're fucking awesome. You're gonna give credit where credit is due. You're going to hold people accountable for the good that they do and the bad that they do, and you're going to hold yourself accountable as well. That is what being in a state of truth and a state of love, I believe, truly means, when you hold yourself and others accountable. When you won't take your shit, you won't take shit from other people, and you can do it in a way of being respectful. You can say, hey, this is my boundaries. You will respect them, and if you don't, goodbye. Good day. And again, I'm going to go back to, once people start seeing that they can't push your buttons and they can't push everybody else's buttons, they're going to have to inevitably change. It's inevitable. It's the laws of the universe. So if you want a better world, if you want a better life within yourself, because we're all living in our own worlds, our own realities, start doing that journey within yourself. Start creating your own boundaries. Start loving yourself. Start with not taking your shit or anybody else's, but doing it in a way of respect and dignity. Yep. There you have it, friends. Happy New Year.